You could take a guy like Canelo. This guy could do. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude.
You can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
Floyd Mayweather has once again stirred the boxing world by calling out Terence Crawford right after Canelo Alvarez's recent fight. Known for his unmatched confidence and perfect record, Mayweather made it clear that he is ready to return to the ring for another high-stakes battle. Fans and analysts are now buzzing with excitement over the idea of Mayweather going up against Crawford, who is considered one of the most powerful pound-for-pound fighters in boxing today. This possible matchup has added a fresh wave of energy and speculation to the ever-changing world of boxing, and the tension is growing fast.
Let me ask you though, Canelo this week actually said something interesting. He goes that Crawford's better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that? Do you feel like he is?
I think he's more all-rounded in some ways, but Mayweather was so good at certain things that made him impossible to beat. He really stuck to his niche of style, where Crawford kind of tries to fight the more honest, I guess, exciting, traditional way, being there, just moving out the way, landing the shot, where Mayweather would have you dancing around him and chasing him and falling short and falling in and countering the life out of you, and knew and understood 10-9 rounds better than anyone else. You only have to win 7, 10-9 rounds clear, and you've won the fight as long as you don't get put down. And obviously he never really got put down. I know there's a few question marks, but for all intents and purposes, never got put down, and he was the best, one of the best to ever do it. It's very hard to go a whole career undefeated.
Terence "Bud" Crawford defended his unbeaten record by defeating Canelo Alvarez via unanimous decision and became the undisputed super middleweight champion. The fight was held at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on September 13, 2025, and was one of the most anticipated matchups of the year. Crawford moved up 2 weight classes for this bout and entered the ring with great confidence. Even though Canelo was naturally bigger and known for his power, Crawford controlled the pace and used sharp boxing, strong footwork, and accurate combinations to cancel out that advantage.
What did you think? What did you think of the fight?
Man, I loved it, man. I loved the fight, man. I love the fight. I did not know how it was gonna go. I didn't think the weight was gonna be a problem for Terence Crawford. I'm on record as saying I didn't think it was gonna be a problem, but it stood to be seen. It needed to be seen, and I knew we would have known after the first, second, or third round. You feel what I'm saying? And when I seen how Canelo was respecting his jab and how Canelo was respecting his power from the very beginning, I knew how it was gonna go. And I knew that Bud was only gonna get stronger and get bolder, and start to wear him down, because Canelo is known to start to wear a little bit in the later round.
Everyone said that Crawford was not going to exchange tonight, and he traded with Canelo up close.
Man, Bud is the best, man. Bud is the best. I've been on wax and saying that, Bud. I've been on wax and saying that for a couple of years now. I bet against Bud on Spence. I bet against Bud on Porter. I didn't think that Bud was the best. I got to give it to him. Bud the best, right? He hands down. He the best. He the best right now. I don't think nobody need to question him no more. I mean, you kind of got to give him his respect no matter what. You got to give him his respect. He just went up 2 weight classes what people said he couldn't do. He's doing everything that people say he can't do, and he is doing it with ease.
Right?
You got to respect that.
Break it down for me. How did he win that fight in the way he won it tonight?
He won the fight by gaining Canelo's respect. I think he was already in Canelo's head a little bit. I think that even though Canelo knew he was smaller and everything else, these fighters are still humans, and they hear what the people are saying. Canelo was I'm sorry, not Canelo. Crawford was undefeated. Look at what he did to the Spence. I mean, look at what he's doing to some of these people. So no matter what, I mean, you have to take that into consideration.
For this fight, Mayweather Jr. placed his bet on Terence Crawford because he believed in his skills and trusted him to win against Canelo Alvarez. Even though Crawford was seen as the underdog, Mayweather placed a $50,000 bet on him to win through the money line at plus 148 odds. When Crawford won by unanimous decision, Mayweather's bet paid off big and earned him $124,000. This move not only showed Mayweather's confidence in Crawford, but also proved his strong understanding of boxing and fight dynamics.
Check this out, guys. Floyd Money Mayweather just shared on social media that he bet $50,000 on Crawford to win, and he won $75,000 back. So Crawford made Mayweather $74,000. Most people that I talked to were betting on Canelo. A few people bet on Crawford. How much money did you win on Crawford? $200 here, $200 there. But most people that I know bet on Canelo. And we'll hear from Canelo. We're going to hear from Crawford. And I'll keep you guys posted. But right now, Floyd Money Mayweather bet on Crawford and make some money. What do you want to see Crawford do next? What do you want to see Canelo do next? Let me know. Definitely interesting developments here tonight. When I watched the fight live, I thought Canelo won. I think Canelo won. I have to watch it again, but with no audio because I know the broadcasters were all against Canelo. They were all against him all week from the rivals. So I don't expect anything different.
Mayweather has made it clear where he stands in the pound-for-pound debate by calling Terence Crawford the #1 fighter in the world today. After Crawford's dominant performance against Canelo Alvarez, Mayweather praised his skill, discipline, and ability to succeed across multiple weight divisions. For Mayweather, being pound for pound is not just about collecting titles, but about consistently proving yourself against top-level opponents. He believes Crawford has done exactly that. By staying undefeated and beating elite champions, Crawford has firmly established himself as the top name in modern boxing.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion, something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as #1.
Crawford has always admired Mayweather's approach to boxing, not just his in-ring skills, but also the way he managed his career and built his legacy. Over time, this respect grew into a genuine connection between them. Crawford has often received tips and advice from Mayweather, which he takes seriously. He does not just listen to the advice, he puts it into action. Their relationship shows a deeper bond built on ambition, legacy, and a shared understanding of what it really takes to become great in the sport of boxing.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boss, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd. Nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
Recently, Canelo made a surprising admission during a press conference, saying he thinks Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. This statement stood out because Alvarez had previously faced his first career loss against Mayweather back in 2013, when he was just 23 years old and still undefeated. Crawford's performance against Alvarez was nothing short of masterful, as he showed faster hands, better footwork, and sharp tactical precision to outbox Canelo over 12 rounds. Even after moving up 2 weight divisions, Crawford managed to shut down Alvarez's power with smart defense and accurate counterpunching.
It's with Fight Hub TV right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Champ, first off, I want to thank you for the illustrious career that you have given us in the game. You've been a steadfast professional in the way that you conducted yourself, and I want to thank you on behalf of all of the boxing media.
Thank you, sir.
Number
it's my
2,
pleasure.
Champ, I wanted to ask you, this was a fight that we haven't seen from you before. We've never seen you have the sustained and prolonged frustration during the fight. Was there a point in time where you figured that this just wasn't going to be my night? And if you did, when did that happen?
No, I never thought that. I always try. All the rounds I try, but you need to accept it, right? Sometimes you cannot go, and I try all the rounds. I never think about that because imagine. So I cannot think in that way, but I try my best tonight.
And lastly for me, Champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
After Canelo Alvarez claimed that Crawford is way better than Floyd Jeff Mayweather, who is Floyd's uncle, responded with criticism. He suggested that Canelo made this statement to boost Crawford's image, which in turn would make Canelo's own loss seem more respectable. Jeff pointed out that Canelo was actually in his prime when he lost to Mayweather and disagreed with the idea that Floyd was past his best at that time. He also pushed back on the comparison of defensive skills, saying that while Crawford is very talented, Mayweather's defense is still unmatched.
Well, also, if we remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course.
Yeah, nobody had it.
And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
man, that was 30-something years old, 36.
Well, Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people, but
How you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
Don't you?
Want to make himself look like he did something great.
Trainer Greg Hackett has shared his thoughts on the ongoing debate between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford, saying that Mayweather is still the better fighter. Even with Crawford's impressive win over Canelo Alvarez, Hackett believes that Mayweather's defense and ring IQ make him stand out. He respects Crawford's talent, but points out that Mayweather's undefeated record and success across several weight classes give him the edge in the all-time rankings. Hackett's view adds to the ongoing conversation in the boxing world about who is truly the greatest of this era.
The Floyd Mayweather that Canelo Alvarez fought.
Yeah.
In the last version of Terence Crawford that we've seen in the ring.
Yeah.
Who's the better fighter, Jeff?
Of course you got to give it to Floyd. Floyd at that time, Ben, what's up? Floyd at that time versus Canelo was in total confidence. His skill set, his IQ, you know what I'm saying? Everything he do, he was just a complete fighter that night. But I feel like was up against a lot because he was fighting a guy that we knew something about, but we ain't know too much about. People don't understand how much a fighter could be thrown off by what he don't know. And the reason it throws you off is because you're actually learning about the fighter while you're in there. That's what Bud went up against that night. That's why he didn't look so great to me.
Eddie Hearn has openly dismissed Canelo Alvarez's claim that Terence Crawford is better than Floyd Mayweather Jr. He argued that Crawford's record doesn't compare to Mayweather's, noting that many of Crawford's opponents were past their prime when he faced them. Hearn stressed that although Crawford has important wins like his recent victory over Canelo, he does not have the same range of elite wins against top-level fighters across multiple weight classes that Mayweather built during his career.
Canelo saying that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. But I think Crawford's a phenomenal fighter. The thing is with Crawford, and I was kind of goading him on this, and it's not his fault. His resume's not that impressive. Like I said to him, tell me your best win ever. This is what I said to him. And you know what he said? Ricky Burns. Right? Now, Ricky Burns is a great fighter. He's my guy. He's a 3-division world champion. But you can't say that he is, like one of the greats. He's one of the greats of Scottish boxing. But if you're talking about one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time, it's not Terence's fault that he hasn't been able to get those fights. But a lot of the guys that he's fought have been done. Even arguably Ricky Burns at the time. I know he went on to win other world championships, but he was kind of on the slide at that time. Kell Brook, Amir Khan, Gamboa, all of these guys. Who else did he beat? Ndongo, like Errol Spence, another example. Terence is brilliant, but he's never actually really had many notable victories. this would be it. I mean, this would be an incredible achievement. But I just feel like at the age that they're at, like, what is going to happen in this fight? And I just see I don't think Terence, because he shouldn't, is going to take that many chances in the fight. He needs to use his movement, use his footwork, which Canelo doesn't like, and win rounds. And Canelo doesn't really like to force a fight. When did you last see Canelo really trying to get a finish?
Armamel Mautin recently reaffirmed that Floyd Mayweather will always be the GOAT. Despite the recent attention on Terence Crawford's dominance, Mautin made it clear that for him, Mayweather's perfect record, ring intelligence, defensive skill, and consistent success across multiple weight classes set a standard few can reach. While he praised Crawford's performances, especially his win over Canelo, Mautin stressed that true greatness is not about a single fight or moment, but about longevity, flawless excellence, and making history by staying undefeated at the highest level. Mautin believes that although Crawford is elite, Mayweather's legacy remains in a different class.
Where do you sit with this? Because 2 pound-for-pound greats of this era, Canelo, we see the resume, Crawford, 2-time undisputed, potentially this weekend becomes 3. I've said in a few interviews, is it skills pay the bills, or does a good big man beat a good little man? How do you see it?
I feel like the skills pay the bills, and I feel like Crawford's not that much littler than Canelo. We've seen in the face-off that they're around the same size. If not, Crawford like a little bigger. Yeah, for sure. So, really just we're going to see tomorrow, how it plays out. Whoever the better man is that night, I feel like will win. I feel like it's even playing fields, and, both guys coming ready. So we're just going to have to see.
If Terence does win this, a lot of people are saying that puts him as the greatest of all time. Now, I know it's hard because obviously you've been with Floyd, and a lot of people are saying Floyd is the greatest. But does that at least put him in that conversation with your Floyd Mayweathers, your Manny Pacquiao's, your Sugar Ray Leonard's, all the greats of the past, and obviously Canelo obviously as well because he'll be there. Does that put him there?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, nobody will ever. I feel like Floyd will always be the greatest of all time.
Meanwhile, Crawford responded to frequent comparisons with Floyd Mayweather Jr. by emphasizing that each fighter should be judged within their own era. He stated that he is the greatest of his time, just as Mayweather was in his, and that making direct comparisons between them is unnecessary. This shows Crawford's confidence in his own achievements and his wish to build a legacy separate from past legends. After Crawford's historic win over Canelo Alvarez, his longtime trainer Brian "Bow" McIntyre made it clear there would be no rush into another fight. Bomac stressed that Crawford just scored one of the biggest wins of his career and deserves time to rest instead of jumping right back into training camp. He explained that following such intense preparation and a tough 12 rounds recovery must come first. Rather than focusing on immediate talk of future opponents, Bomac recommended Crawford take a well-earned break to recharge both physically and mentally. According to him, rest is vital now, so Crawford can enjoy his accomplishment before thinking about the next chapter in his legendary career.
You know what? We're going to get back in the gym. And we're going to assess that. And, right now I just want him to go on vacation, have some fun, spend time with his family, man, because we trained for probably a half a year for that fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of time spent away from home, a lot of time spent away from the family. So I just want him to just go get back home.
And what for you?
Yeah.
Damn. And for you? Me? Hey, this thing? Appreciate you.
What you saying about training a half a year? We trained almost a half a year for that fight. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it was so sharp. Everybody.
Bernie Thigh boxer, a close ally of Terence Crawford, expressed strong criticism after the Canelo fight, insisting that they tried to steal the victory. He believes the scoring did not properly reflect Crawford's dominance during the match and argued that many rounds were unfairly awarded or judged too closely. According to him, Crawford controlled the fight, setting the pace, showing better boxing skills, and clearly outworking Canelo. However, the judges' scorecards did not give enough credit to those efforts. Bernie feels that even though Crawford won by unanimous decision, the scoring margins were unjust. His reaction highlights how controversial judging still sparks strong emotions in boxing even when the outcome appears clear.
This is the second time he destroyed every myth. Can he take the punch? Is he strong? Is this guy too strong? Man, he did everything. He did everything. Didn't he? Stood and fought with him. See how he
Was in the pocket. Was in the pocket.
turned him. Did everything. Talking about he too strong. Turned him a couple times. Pushed it. Crawford the best, man.
Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather has a unique view on this matchup since he faced and defeated Canelo Alvarez back in 2013 when Canelo was undefeated and rapidly rising. That win remains one of the highlights of Mayweather's legendary career, demonstrating his defensive skill and ring intelligence. Now, years later, Mayweather is focusing on Terence Crawford, the fighter who recently dominated Canelo. By calling out Crawford, Mayweather is not only sparking new excitement in boxing, but also reminding fans that he still believes he can compete with the very best in the sport.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? You're 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
And he was like, that was when he was
No,
probably
he
at his
was in
prime,
his
right?
prime, yeah.
Prime, and you're only 23?
23.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him because beat him. If you beat him, you wanna be the best in the world at 23. So imagine that. But he was the better man that night. A lot of experience. He's a great fighter. But I learned.
Do you think Floyd Mayweather calling out Terence Crawford could lead to one of the biggest fights ever, or should money stay retired and let Crawford take the spotlight? Share your thoughts in the comments below.